Dr. Shivanand Rai joins us from New Delhi. Dr. Pai, I beg your pardon, is an additional Director General at the India Meteorological Department. Dr. Pai, welcome to DD India News Hour. I have 4 or 5 fundamental questions to ask you for the benefit of viewers joining us from around the world. Now, first up, heat waves, wildfires and unusually heavy rains have impacted the world, India included. And now a hurricane is battering the Caribbean. Is climate change to blame for these extreme weather events?
See, in fact, you are correct actually. Climate is changing and the temperature has been increasing. Last year was the warmest ever year, and that is mainly because of the El Nino conditions prevailed across the globe, and people are believing that this year could be also warmer than last year.
Right.
After saying that, you are correct that there are, because of climate change, there has been increase in the cyclonic storms, its frequency, the intensity, and also heat waves are increasing. At the same time, heavy rainfalls are increasing. But before climate change also, there has been this extreme event. The only thing is that at present, the intensity and frequency of these events are increasing. So that extent, we can say that if the increase is attributed to climate change, but these extreme events are part and parcel of the climate and the weather across the globe.
Right. Dr. Pai, what should governments do to combat such phenomena? Does an early warning system help? Tell us a bit more, if you will, about your organization and how what it's doing in this regard.
See, there are 2 things. One is the mitigation. Mitigation means reducing the impact of climate change by controlling the emission of the greenhouse effect. Thereby, you try to decrease the intensity of the climate change. In spite of all the effort to decrease the greenhouse effect, even if you do think that this today, now we stopped all the emissions of the greenhouse gases, still the already existing greenhouse gases can impact the climate next several decades. So therefore, you have to adapt to the you have to adapt to these conditions which are continuously changing because of the climate change. And to that extent, the early warning system is a type of adaptation process by which you get an idea about what is likely to happen in a particular region, and thereby you can take precautionary measures and reduce the risk due to this kind of extreme events. So the early warning is a very important aspect of the adaptation to the climate change.
Right. Dr. Pai, I have a couple of questions to ask from you from an Indian perspective. How vulnerable do you think is India to climate change?
So we have got large geography with a large coastal line. At the same time, interior part there are deserts are there.
Right.
Interior land, big land regions are there.
And a large coastline as well.
Yes, coastal lines we have got. We are impacted by large monsoon type of weather provides us 70 to 75% of the rainfall, annual rainfall. So any changes due to the climate on the monsoon and the rainfall events, extreme rainfall event, that will have an impact. Any delay in the monsoon that can cause a heat waves or a temperature increase. One of the things that we have observed associated with the monsoon, climate change is that extreme events are increasing. At the same time, the gap between the extreme events are increasing, which means the dry periods are increasing. That will have impact on not only the agriculture, our socio-economy also, and also the cyclones. We are also prone to cyclones during both pre-monsoon as well as the post-monsoon. Anything related to climate change, this cyclonic system, whether it is a storm surge or wind, heavy rainfall, all this can cause actually coastal impact. So in that way, also not only that sea levels are increasing, that also will have impact on the coastal area. So overall, we have been facing all kinds of extreme events. So therefore, the early warning system for
Right.
each of these type of extreme events are very important to adapt to this type of kind of extreme events.
Indeed. And finally, Dr. Pai, what can you tell us about India's track record insofar as climate policies is concerned?
See, we have been putting efforts to actually, mitigation that way by reducing the greenhouse gases. Actually, we are also committed to improve, all the sources like fossil fuels. Actually, to decrease that, we have been using the renewable energy, wind energy, solar. So the production of those energies are actually increasing. So India is playing very important role in mitigation of the climate change, and at the same time we are also working with the other global agencies in improving the early warning system for all kind of extreme event, not only within the country, for South Asia, and also globally to improve the early warning system.
Right. Dr. Shivanand Pai, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your thoughts and insights with our viewers at home and abroad. Thank you for your time. Much appreciated.